officially announced that on Monday, the governor and myself signed the decree to amend the national decree of October 29th, which at that time was setting an election date on February 9th, 2010. I had announced previously that the government submitted a decree to the governor for signing. I also said that I expected the governor to do so, and that was done. The date for the election, as you all know, is September 26th, 2016. Contrary to what the dates have always been, on a Friday, government has chosen to have the election on a Monday. Why the Monday? We've indicated in the past that by holding elections on a Friday, a large number of the community, the Seventh-day Adventist community, is not given the opportunity to fully participate in the electoral process. So for them, we've even had candidates who participating in the election, campaigning at the booth, and on election, on the day of election, they disappear, so to speak, in observance of the Friday, Saturday that they observe. So in doing this, we accommodate those people. The postulation date is 8th of August, and the new parliament will be sworn in on the 31st of October. Some have already started calling it the Halloween Parliament, but on St. Martin, we have a tendency to, follow everybody's not national, everybody's holidays, and our own sometimes go by not much noticed. One of the things that we have also done is agree that within 2 weeks of signing of this decree going into effect, we will appoint a committee of experts who would advise government on the constitutional and electoral changes that are necessary. I have personally some proposals that I will bring to the Council of Ministers and to the coalition. I think the proposal that I have as far as stopping ship jumping is a good one and will basically eliminate the phenomenon of ship jumpers immediately. At least it would take away the effect of ship jumping. The idea proposed by some experts to say that if you want to jump ship, you have to leave your seat, make absolutely no sense, because then you're telling the person, in essence, if you're not in agreement with the party, then resign and go home, which in itself is not a bad idea, but then say so. But then do not call it ship jumping, then it's somebody has decided to tender his or her resignation from Parliament because he or she is not in agreement. But you can't jump ship, go sit on the other side, and still leave the seat behind. Then you're adding a second or another seat, to the 15-member Parliament. Yesterday also, the Council of Ministers had our first general meeting with shareholders meeting with the board and interim manager of NVGBE. We had an 18-point agenda. We managed to run through, I think it was 10 points, and the remaining points will be discontinued in a meeting. The meeting will continue tomorrow. Most of the points raised, we could not have gone into, let's say, any decision-making on them because, as I said, 18 points, and it's the first time that the board has met with the shareholder, and therefore the shareholder needed to be brought up to speed as to some of the developments. One of the issues that I wanted to address even before this meeting was the issue of the engine that had to be bought. We know the leader of the UP appeared on, at least his story, on the front page of some of the newspapers, that accusing the vote in Parliament at the time by the Coalition of Eight, accusing them of stalling the purchase of the engine, and sort of alluding to the fact that that is why we are having the problems that we are having. There are a number of things that are so unreal with the story to even call it a story. The engine in question is on the books by GBE to be purchased since 2012. Since 2012. That decision was never taken by the shareholder to give them the green light to purchase the engine.
Bob, I can understand why you're parking so carefully. Of course, when you can get 80% discount on your Be Sure car insurance. But that's overdoing it, Bob.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, you're on family vacation. Oh, but your daughter's got the measles. But don't worry about it. With your Be Sure travel insurance, children under 12 are covered for free.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Yeah, for free.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, yes. A renovation, that's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
That bucket has superpowers. Powers? It makes people suddenly appear. Really? I'm home.
You appeared.
It makes people suddenly appear.
At the right time.
Festive feast from KFC. The taste that brings everyone together. So good.
I'm feeling funny, man. I feel like I'm getting a pain in my chest.
I got this.
You sure?
Yes. It's 30 breaths and 2 compression. Give her here.
Oh, Monique, look, she waking up.
No, Fernand. It is not 30 breaths and 2 compressions. It is 30 compressions and 2 breaths. CPR can be done in 3 simple steps. Step 1, check and call. Step 2, press down or pump. Step 3, blow.
I got it now. It's 30 compression and 2 breaths.
Yes.
Right.
CAB.
There's also been very open discussions about the new hospital, about plans for the new hospital. And I think it's important to understand that the new hospital is really only part of the discussion. I think the real discussion is about a healthcare system which is accessible, which is affordable, and that provides the quality of care that the people in St. Martin need. So while I fully support the idea of a new hospital, there's actually a lot of groundwork that needs to be done prior to that. As some of you know, I was chairman of the board of the hospital in previous time, and a lot of work was done there to make the hospital financially stable. And I'm surprised to find that, again, a lot of the issues that were current at that time are still issues. The fact that the hospital was originally designated as a peripheral hospital and the Sejos Hospital as the main hospital, things like that have still not been regulated. So one of the things that we need to work on, I believe, is the designation of the medical center as our national hospital. The medical center also has some very structural issues in terms of its tariff structure. Basically, the rate at which services are compensated are insufficient. So in other words, their cost of doing business is higher than the tariffs for which they're paid. So as we talk about a new hospital, if the business plan is based on an outdated tariff structure, doubling the size of the hospital actually, in a sense, may actually exacerbate the problems of the medical center. So as discussions about how to execute the hospital in an open and transparent manner, while that process continues, the fundamental discussion about how do we make sure the business model is sustainable and affordable, that also has to happen. And as a matter of fact, in my opinion, it would be irresponsible to sign for the construction of a new hospital until the business plan makes sense. There's also a need for focus on preventative care. Last week I went out with the health bus. The health bus is an expensive piece of equipment, I think $400,000+, but it's heavily underutilized. So for example, for the month of December, it made one trip out in conjunction with the AIDS Foundation, and it was a good effort, but given the cost that's been incurred to purchase it, I think that it should be much better utilized. And so while we found, actually SZV paid for the bus and then gave it to VSA, the funds in order to operate the bus, to have it out in the community on a regular basis, aren't there. So one of the things we're looking at is the possibility of establishing a foundation or some sort of a structure that would allow private sector, for example, to contribute to the operational costs for the bus so that the bus can actually get out into the community and do its work. So I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the preventative side in the community, and that again helps to improve quality of life, and it also helps to bring down our cost of healthcare because prevention is always cheaper than cure. And the other thing we've been working on this week is we had a very positive meeting with the Department of Communications about improving the way in which the ministry communicates with the public. There's a lot of information out there from the preventative side, also even from the inspection side. You know, the inspection department goes out and controls different businesses, but yet to find that information online in terms of what we're expecting businesses to comply with is very difficult. And so we had a very positive meeting, and there will be a push from the ministry to make sure that the departments provide the Department of Communications the information they need to get information online, as well as forms that people can download, anything that we can to improve the communications with the...
It gives me a great pleasure to update you on the Studying in the Region project, an overview of some of the decisions that have been made. To update you on what it is, Studying in the Region is funded through a bilateral protocol signed between the Dutch Minister of OCW and the Minister of St. Martin to promote studying in the region, mainly at USM, but also in the region and anywhere outside of the Netherlands, really. Gives persons who are not eligible for the regular study financing an opportunity to prove themselves for 1 or 2 years. Most scholarships in this last cohort were granted for the education field, as well as one for pilot. So there were 19 requests in total. Of the 19, 12 were granted, which amounts to 63%. 1 for the Canada, 6 for here on St. Martin, and 5 for the United States of America. We have 2 that are still pending, so based on information that is provided by the applicant, that would be handled at a later date. The quota for the number of study financing recipients, this is pretty good news, an update from our in-state tuition regulation with TCC, Tallahassee Community College. We, prior to this year, had only 10 spots, and this has been increased to 20. So it's been a very big burden, and we've had more than 10 students attending Tallahassee College over the past years, and so it was a great burden on those students and their parents. So now, after much deliberation with Tallahassee, we've been able to increase that to 20 per year. So that is very good news for the students who are already there and have been doing it, you know, on a thread. There are 4 St. Martin students who were paying out-of-state tuition at TCC who will now be eligible also for the in-state, so the 4 who are already there. And effective January 2016, the in-state tuition will be then $1,500 and out-of-state $4,600, so that's a big difference. A big thank you goes out to our friends, all of them, in the Tallahassee area who made this possible, specifically Mayor Andrew Gillum, TCC's President Jim Mardo, Betty Jensen, Ben Harris, Stephen Knight of the Tallahassee St. Martin Foundation, and many others who contributed to this positive turn of events. Also in this understudy financing, the Public Service Center in Simpson Bay will also be accepting study financing applications as of Monday, December 21st. As you remember, I stated 2 weeks ago that the applications were being accepted and they could be done online as well, but you still would have to print out those applications and still take them to the department or the division study financing. This service at the Public Service Center is an additional one that is being provided to the general public of St. Martin. An official announcement will be made through the Department of Communications as well. So that's far as I have in terms of new updates. As many know, an official press release didn't go out on this, but I have made it my business to visit almost all. I haven't completed it as yet, but 23 of the 25 schools. It has been a great opportunity to meet with the teachers, the staff, as well as the students, and give a word of encouragement, especially as it pertains to our young people. We know that lately, and I've said it before in press briefings, that our young people have been getting a negative rap. There are young people in the community who are doing the negative things, but I really went out there to the schools, encouraging our young people to be the best that they can be. Using an acronym, RICE, you've probably heard it before, respect, impulse control, compassion, and equity, and encouraging them as well as the teachers, and encouraging them to also teach it to their parents and older brothers and sisters, so that we could create a more harmonious society, promote peace in this country, and reduce the number of our youth delinquents. I also reassure them of the ministry's priority, that they were the ministry's priority, and that we were doing all we could at this time to secure that they receive the types of education they need with the qualified teachers. And I thanked the teachers also for their continued contribution to the education of our young people.
So what's your idea of holiday happiness? Watching the kids open presents? Cooking in our new kitchen? The look on his face. Add to your holiday happiness with a loan from Scotiabank, and you could win a trip for two to Miami and other great prizes. Visit your Scotiabank branch today and talk to a representative about getting your loan. Contest ends January 15th. Conditions apply. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
We strive for excellence to thrive in our community, to express self and help solve problems where we can. Collaborations and partnerships with stakeholders on all social levels in the community to get things done in the here and in the now. We try to lead a better St. Martin for the descendants and the new generation that is coming up after us. We have a social responsibility to ourselves, but also to our community. Enlightenment and encouragement to others to do better for a better St. Martin. We are taking a stand to sharpen our purpose as a political association to incite the revival of hope within our community and within our people, and definitely within our government, because together we can accomplish much more. Helping Our People Excel Association would like to provoke a sense of presence in our community among citizens and people that would hope, openness, willingness to change for positive developments in our country, that everybody can hopefully lead a more happier and prosperous, productive quality of life, and that we all can contribute to that as well. And as I read you our simple mission statement, our creative abilities, intellectual capacities, freedoms, personal strengths, talents, love, and belief in ourselves and country. Responsibility to self and community bind us to help our people excel. We know better, we should do and strive for better. That's basically what our mission statement is all about. And you may be asking yourself, how are we going to accomplish all of these things? It's not going to be easy. It's just a vision, a philosophy. Of course, we've got to start by maintaining respect for our Constitution and enforcing and amending the laws as needed. We have to create and maintain a conducive and effective public service. Innovating and creating awareness campaigns of change in our community through unique and fresh approaches to problems and challenges that come with a developing country. By including the people, and this is where I think it's very important, where it's lacking in our present government right now. By including the people in a change process, we will address our problems in a sense of ownership of what is going on in our own community, and not let it always entirely depend on others for solutions to the problems we face. As a people, we have to participate in the entire developing process of this country. Facing the aspirations together, we empower each other together. We change as we listen and respect each other without judgment, having integrity of somebody's position. We learn if we are open as a people, if we can show empathy and have conversations of things and concerns in our community that really matter. That's why hope will therefore enforce optimism by challenging ourselves to do what is needed to be done. This will allow us to be enthusiastic about the successes of our own, but also about the successes of others.